Welcome to Race Max Pro. This is my B-Class Chevy Corvette. Grand Pro, I call it. My Dragon scheme. From some angles, it looks almost like it's wearing a parade-style Dragon. I came up with this scheme in an effort to try to hide. If you look over the front bumper there, there's a decal, red decal there you cannot get rid of to come up with your own scheme. So I tried to hide it amongst all the other decals. This is the most successful way I found to do that, is to come up with a scheme that is somewhat complex and crowded, so that it hides it. For the most part, this scheme is made up of 3 decals that are all just slid slightly different spacing and are different colors. There's a yellow version of that flame decal, echoed with one behind it of a red I made up, and a purple outlining the red as well. There are 3 decals, main decals for the paints, on the door panel from the vent to the rear wheel there, with a bunch of other different style of flame decals going through the center of the flame in red to break up the yellow, because I find the yellow looked a little too bright there with just the yellow and nothing, and breaking up the amount of pattern there. There's also the same thing done with a slightly different flame decal that's selectable from the decal pack to do just the outside of the bumper. I did the same thing, 3 of them there. They're symmetry, so they're on both sides, or X-synced. And I did the same thing with this side of the bumper. Then this one comes down just in front of the headlights, which sort of almost gives it like a dragon's eyes if you look at the front, and the bodywork if you look down the side. You may have noticed something other little different on this car. It is not a show car. Look behind the wheels, both front and rear. I symmetried them there, it's easy to do. They're not exactly the same deck. They're not varied from side to side. I just symmetried them because you won't see both sides at the same time. They're supposed to be on the back, behind the back wheel there, mud splatters and various other things splattered up on there. The black dots give a little bit of contrast to the brown I chose. Somewhat similar to behind the front wheel there. I can't get close enough to really zoom in on it without doing some tricky photo editing, and I don't not into that when I make my videos. There are 2 layers of decals there for the mud as well behind the front wheel. As the front wheel usually doesn't kick up as much debris as the rear wheel, it is much smaller. There is a brown mud color there, and that's a simple paint decal, is selectable from the patches in the game, as well as another paint decal done in sort of a black gray over top of it to give it a little more customization. And you might notice the front of my car. It's got black marks on it. If you've ever seen some race cars that have been out on the track that aren't just show cars, you'll see these from these soft kind of rubber tires that get used on racetracks that don't last very long. They're usually, you'll hear them referred to as marbles when they're out on the track. I've also got a bug there. You might have noticed it down below the headlight, just beside the opening in the front fender there, and another one on this side. Though there is a decal, I'll go around the back here, that I've used. That is the whole decal, the black there, and I put another decal in behind to give the bug green wings. The one on the front, I placed it so that the wording does not show up. And from the top of my car, you can see I did not do much with the top of the car other than I projected some flames from about this angle to make something similar to what I did on the front fender and the side of the car with 3 of the same decals and the same colors, all sort of slid just a little bit apart to give a bit of contrast. And I broke up the yellow a bit on that one too. I also did one other decal. Between the 2 wheels there, I stuck a gray decal on the very bottom of the bodywork, and that is in behind the mud. I think this came out pretty good, and I chose a matte type of paint scheme for this car. It does not get registered when you save your decal pack, unfortunately, but it does make the decals non-glossy as well. Let's go in and edit this package, and I'll show you it's 31 decals to do that whole paint scheme, which is a fair amount. Now, if I don't do anything, I just hit save to exit this, otherwise it will come up with something saying I was in there editing something, I should save it. Let's go take a look at what this looks like under different lighting conditions out on the track. And on this part of the video, I will not be talking over it. I'll do 3 short races. I'll start with street, we'll go to drift, and then drag. You know, the thing with your decal schemes, not only do you have to play them when you're offline, you can bring them with you when you go online. You can see what other people bring there too, and when you play against them. Oops, I did this wrong. I went in the street again. I meant to do a different one. And then I'm going to put the same exact track to do the race. Sometimes it does vary when you go into the same race setup on Fast Cash. Sorry about that, but I stuck another race in. I hit the wrong button. Now we'll do a drift. And one short drag race. This will probably would be about 12 seconds or less. I lied. It's 14 and a half seconds almost. Okay, you've seen my Dragon schemed B-Class Chevy Corvette Grand Sport. If you want to see some of my other cars, check out my other videos or go online and see what others have come up with and you compete against them. Maybe you do bring your customization when you go there.